On January 13, 2023, this tweet by Miles Zim went viral. The images were created with AI image tool Midjourney and have an eerie air of realism that can be unsettling. The lifelikeness of these creations was so striking that they were circulated across the world on blogs, articles and social media just a few days ago. It's incredible to see how close they can get to reality, but is AI advancement something to marvel at, or should we fear what they could do? How much of your job could an AI do? In this video we'll explore AI, automation and what it means for your job and everyone else's. San Francisco, the hub of tech innovation in the country, has attracted over $6.7 billion in funding for AI and machine learning products. Amongst them the most famous, OpenAI. But not everyone is happy about these changes.
I don't know if I can even describe how big of an impact it has made. It's made things go very, very dark. And I know I'm not the only one. Without going into too many details, my thoughts have indeed gotten very dark pretty regularly. Like on an individual level and on a personal level, it's of course very heartbreaking.
As AI continues to become more commonly used, it is not only artists who will be losing their jobs. Many other professions and industries that rely heavily on human labor are facing the same challenge. An analysis by Forrester Research estimates that by 2040, automation technologies will lead to the loss of 12 million jobs across Europe. This follows a long-term trend of automation replacing human labor in a wide range of industries. Although some jobs will be created through automation, the net result is predicted to be negative overall. Automation has raised fears among workers that their jobs may become obsolete and has led many governments to take steps to protect workers' rights and prepare them for new types of work.
Check this out, at no point in this video am I actually looking at the camera. This is a brand new bit of technology called eye contact that's been developed by NVIDIA. It's currently in...
This video and many other viral videos like it show incredible and ambitious technological advancements, and it is easy to understand why it captured the world's attention. However, while it is important to celebrate these accomplishments, there is also a need for us to be thoughtful about the implications of such rapid progress. We should take into account not only the potential benefit that technology can bring but also the risk of unintended consequences that may come with its implementation. The idea of artificial intelligence becoming sentient is a real concern for many experts in computer engineering, robotics and other related fields. While the idea may seem like something out of science fiction, there are some legitimate fears that AI could eventually reach a point where it develops its own sense of consciousness and autonomy.
This is going to be even worse because now you have an artificial intelligence able to generate things in plain English that are often full of true information, but you don't know whether what generated it is some, brain-dead model or something else. That's one concern. And then the other concern is when we say, well, ChatGPT doesn't know what it's saying. It's not conscious. We know it's not conscious because it's not programmed to have a consciousness. We are actually ignoring the other half of the story, which is that we don't know how human consciousness works, and we don't know how it develops in a child. All right? A child is exposed to a world of adults talking around them, and the child experiments first with phonemes and then words and then clusters of words and then sentences. And by doing something that isn't all that far from what ChatGPT is doing, it ends up becoming a conscious individual. And so I think it's clear that ChatGPT isn't conscious. It couldn't be. But it isn't clear, to me at least, that we are not suddenly stepping onto a process that produces that very quickly without us even necessarily knowing it.
AI has a potential to increase productivity substantially, but it can also leave workers unable to compete and out of a job for which they have no replacement skills or training. In addition, AI could render many activities redundant, creating a lack of purpose for individuals in those jobs. This could have serious implications for mental health and create deep social divides between those with access and resources to acquire new skills and those that don't. The impact of automation on jobs is rapidly accelerating, with most estimates pointing to a net loss of millions of jobs worldwide within the decade. Automation is mainly driven by advances in technology, enabling robots and other automated systems to replace humans in a variety of roles. PwC's economic survey has estimated that up to 30% of existing jobs could be replaced by automation over the next 15 years. This would result in a major transformation for many industries as well as society more broadly. In addition to the direct impacts on employment, automation will also have an indirect effect on jobs by changing the nature of work and redefining labor markets. The potential economic impact of AI on global GDP by 2030 could be a massive $15 trillion boost, according to recent estimates. However, the rise of automation eroding traditional job markets is a cause for concern. In the early 2020s, 3% of jobs are at risk from increased automation, with this number increasing to 30% by the mid-2030s. Workers with low levels of education are particularly vulnerable, and 44% may be affected by mid-2030s. The current economic climate has made many people anxious about job security. There is a lot of uncertainty in the air, and people are wondering if their jobs are at risk due to automation and the changing nature of work. With so many industries being affected by technological developments, it is only natural to ask if our jobs will be safe in the future. So are we doomed to all lose our jobs?
Currently got 170 patients in the department, that's 170, quite a few. There are 90 patients waiting to be seen at the moment, that's 90 of you are still waiting to be seen. Our current wait time for a doctor is 7.5 hours. I will estimate that by the time I go home in the morning at 8 o'clock, some of you will still be here waiting for a doctor, because the wait will get up to 12 or 13 hours. I will expect that.
The healthcare facilities in the United Kingdom, United States, and other Western countries were truly overrun by an alarming influx of COVID-19 patients amid dwindling funds and a growing elderly population during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Paul Ransom, a British doctor who has served as a doctor in Ukraine, says that the strain on UK hospitals is even greater than what he saw there. He fears that, with a rising number of COVID-19 cases and exhausted medical staff unable to cope with the demand, lives will be needlessly lost. Sometimes I feel guilty at seeing my NHS colleagues trying to keep patients safe and sometimes even keep them alive in conditions that are worse than those I see in many hospitals I work in abroad. No other country in Europe would expose patients to these conditions. Sometimes when I read my WhatsApps from Brighton when I am deployed overseas, it seems to me that we should be redirecting our humanitarian efforts to the corridors in UK hospitals such as our own in Sussex rather than in conflict countries abroad. Experts have warned, deaths are predicted to outstrip births as early as 2025 due to an aging population, requiring new and urgent policies to cope with the problem. Until recently, this problem was seen afar in the future, when people expected populations to decline in Japan and other countries such as Spain, South Korea, and even China. However, these populations are now predicted to halve by 2100 due to a rapid decline in birth rates in combination with increased mortality rates caused by COVID-19. This highlights not only why it is important for policies be put in place to deal with age demographics but also how quickly they need to be implemented. Not only a lack of workforce, the reports warns that this job loss could be just the beginning. If widespread economic disruption results from automation also, things could get much worse. According to a report commissioned by the World Economic Forum, up to 30% of global jobs could be at risk from automation by the mid-2030s. This means that millions of people across the world may need to switch industries or further develop their skills for the future job market in order to remain employed. The pace of automation is likely to vary between countries and regions around the world, depending on existing industry structures and levels of technological development. Robots fitted with intuitive AI are increasingly being used to replace workers. This can result in a significant disruption of labor markets and could potentially lead to high rates of unemployment among certain demographics. Similarly, AI has already been deployed in customer service positions such as call centers, meaning that fewer people are required to do these jobs. It is also being used for accounting and management roles within businesses, making them redundant in some cases. All of this means that job loss due to AI is likely to become a bigger problem in the future unless proactive measures are taken by governments and businesses alike to address the issue. The report highlighted that many sectors already have a high level of automation, such as manufacturing and hospitality, but also suggested that there are other sectors that might not have been considered at risk which may be affected in the future. These include health care and education, where roles such as nurses, social workers and teachers may be impacted by advancements in artificial intelligence. Additionally, there could be an impact on administrative roles within businesses too. As a result of this potential disruption to employment, governments and employers will need to take steps to ensure that employees are not left behind due to lack of opportunities or training when transitioning into new roles or industries.
What's going to happen is robots will be able to do everything better than us. I'm including, all of us, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what to do about this. This is really like the scariest problem to me, I'll tell you. So I really think we need government regulation here, just because this is, ensuring the public good is served. Because you've got companies that are racing, that they kind of have to race to build AI, or they're going to be made uncompetitive. Essentially, if your competitor is racing to build AI and you don't, they will crush you. So then you're like, we don't want to be crushed. So, I guess we need to build it too. That's where you need the regulators to come in and say, hey guys, you all need to really, just pause and make sure this is safe. And like when it's cool and and the regulators are convinced that it's safe to proceed, then you can go. But otherwise, slow down.
What do you think about AI and automation, and the changes in population ages? Is this the end of a prosperous era, or the start of one? How have you been affected by the change in the jobs market? Comment below and we might put you in our next video. Luckily, the sponsor of this video might give you some hope for a brighter tomorrow. Today's sponsor is the Your Opportunity YouTube channel, a solution to job shortages with tried and tested franchise opportunities that give you control over your life, with a tidy profit. Your Opportunity has just launched its YouTube channel with a couple of the UK's top-selling franchise opportunities, Pay Later Carpets and the award-nominated Snag Doctor, one of the country's fastest-growing franchises. We're really excited to be partnered with them. If you're interested in learning more, just click the link to go to their channel. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the Future of Jobs to get more videos like this one.